So all this is just to say that the Torah is a great book. Very impressive, very wonderful, a lot of power. And words of this text, and as Jeff taught us last night, the Torah was always understood to be all text, any text. These words can be a powerful practice. And the question is, how are we going to practice with these words? And there may be many ways, I'm sure there are many ways, but one great way was already explained to us the other night when Joanna gave her talk. And what she said was actually really astonishing to me. But she said it so modestly that you might not have noticed how astonishing it was. So I'm going to review for you, remind you of what she said. She said that she was in the midst of a terrible, really disturbing, personal, painful, personal human problem. One of the worst problems that you can have, which is anguish over your child. She was, she told you, really upset about the behavior of her son, and not that he did something inappropriate or wrong, but she was terrified for his life and what would happen to him and what would become of him and so on. And this is, as I say, one of the hardest problems that you can have. So she said, I realized, because I had this problem, that I had to do something about it. I realized I had to develop patience. I had to develop forbearance, because I wasn't going to be able to fix this too easily. And I was going bananas with worry and fright over it. And she used a text. Remember, she told me happened to be a text of my book, Taking Our Places, which is a little embarrassing to be mentioning this, but still, it could have been another text. Remember, she said she wrote out a passage from the text, and she practiced this passage. She read it over frequently. She had it somewhere where she'd look at it. She looked at it a lot. She thought about it. She reflected on it. She took it to heart. She used it as a kind of oracle to shape her thoughts and emotions. And she said, it worked. I mean, this is amazing. Think about it. This actually worked. She got through it. She learned how to see it differently. She learned how to react to it differently. And things changed. So, that's one great way to use text for our practice. We can study something, all of a sudden encounter something that's meaningful to us. Maybe we know text we can go to in times of need. So much better if we're familiar with text and we know where we can go. We can write the passage down. We can put it on a card where we can see it, or we pass it many times during the day, and whenever we pass it, stop and read it, take it into our hearts, think about it, contemplate it, expand our lives through it. We're not stuck with our present attitudes, our present level of wisdom. We can grow, and we can practice with text, and we can grow. I don't think Joanna invented this method. I think this is basic Jewish practice. What do you think Jews are doing when they pray 3 times a day? Why do they do that? They're practicing with text. How come there's a bracha for everything you could possibly dream of to eat or do? Practicing with text, shaping the mind and heart with the practice of text. In fact, it seems like the whole of Judaism is a text-based mindfulness practice, but with a particular Jewish twist, that we're to be not only aware of our mind and heart, but aware of God's constant presence in the middle of our mind and heart, to remind ourselves that that's there, to find it where we didn't know it was there. In other words, we see the holiness, the teaching, and the beauty in everything, in our own life story, even in the middle of our troubles and our sorrows. We learn how to read our own lives as Torah. And when we start doing that, we realize we're not just stuck with the Pshat. See? Yes, there's the Pshat, but there's also the remnants, there's the Drash, and there's the subject of our own lives. And then things begin to look different. And what happens to us begins to deepen and widen. And there's a healing possible, an opening possible, always. Even when we are in the midst of some real, serious trouble, and sometimes we are. So now I want to read you another little piece of writing that's reminds me of this. And this is from, I just got the, I don't know what you call this. Oh, Advanced Uncorrected Proofs. That's what this is, not for sale. So this is a book that's coming out in June. It'll be coming out right before the June retreat, in early June. It's called Sailing Home, Using the Wisdom of Homer's Odyssey to Navigate Life's Perils and Pitfalls. I can never remember the subtitle, because the publishers wrote it. I didn't like the idea of it. That's what they wanted to say. But it does describe the book. It's about Homer's Odyssey. So one of the main points of the book is just what I'm saying, that we only read our lives for the Peshat. We actually need to read our lives at other levels. Otherwise, life is so limited, you know. And we get stuck at that level, and we never see past it. Our lives we don't really understand our lives. We're groping, and that's the beauty of it. When you think you understand what's going on, think again. That's the only thing you can be sure of. That what you think you see isn't it. There's more. There's always more. And we suffer so much, you know. We make up, this is the story of our life, this is what's going on. Ah, it's terrible. But that's not the only thing that's going on. There's a whole lot more going on. Many levels of interpretation. So I decided to interpret the Odyssey. And the Odyssey is a journey of return. Odysseus is coming home, see? He's already come out and done all this stuff, and now all he's trying to do is get home. The whole 24 books of the Odyssey is just Odysseus, tired and worn out, trying to get home, where he started from. And what I'm saying in the book is that we're all also on this journey home. We're all coming home.